Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Lights Out with Ish and Eve. I'm Ish and this is Eve, and this feels like kind of our first official pod of the 2025 season.
Yes.
I know we've had a couple episodes this year, but this feels like 2025.
We're here for the 2025 season.
Yes.
It's actually come around real quick. It's not front of the month, but still, like, it's like a month and we have like Drive to Survive coming out and then we have the season. Like, it's going to come around really fast.
Yeah, testing's like 2 weeks away or 3 weeks away.
I know. I'm really excited just to see some cars back on track and then obviously get into what everyone is sure will be a crazy season.
Yes.
And I'm so excited.
Yes.
So obviously we are coming in hot with our 2025 predictions.
Yes.
Which
we wanted to do them before testing because as much as testing is sort of like who knows what like programs are running and all of that, like you do get a bit of a sense. So this is totally based off just vibes.
and kind of like what we've heard about people doing, obviously new teammates, like that sort of thing. So yeah, it's kind of just off vibes, but and a little bit probably off what we want to happen. But
bit of delusion.
Manifestation.
Anyways, before we get into it, like I think a few things have happened since we last had a pod. The first being that Zhou Guanyu was announced as one of Ferrari's reserve drivers for this year. Zhou Guanyu.
Like, I'm happy for him.
Me too.
Are you happy to have him? You fucking ripped him to shreds last year. So.
I did. A little bit crazy, but he's on the team now, so
yeah.
little bro's on the team.
I just love how, like, the Ferrari drivers are going to be serving major posts in the paddock fashion. Like, they're going to be
true.
popping off. Are you kidding?
Oh my God, I didn't even
the
think
three
about
of them,
that.
like, rocking up together. Like, hello.
There is no way Lewis wears Ferrari team kit anywhere near as much as Charles and Carlos, if at all.
Yeah, I don't think he ever really wore Mercedes kit unless it was like I feel like
a
he
press
would
conference
arrive in like paddock fashion,
yes,
and then put on the
changed.
shirt.
Yeah.
I think
that's
kind of
gonna
crazy.
be yeah.
Before it had his own runway. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm happy for Zhou. Obviously, he was a Ferrari junior, so it's a bit of a full circle moment,
And we get to keep him around.
Yeah, and the cat.
True. Was there anything else?
Lando's helmet. Lando announced his helmet, which is like basically the same as last year's helmet.
Yeah, the big reveal of
the same thing. I did like it with like his little video that he put out. He's at the barber and he's like checking it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a cool helmet reveal. But it's like the same. But I love it. It's a great helmet design.
It is.
So why not keep it?
It's actually so funny because that's basically what happens with like the cars when they reveal the liveries, and it's like this huge thing of like, what's the new livery going to be?
Like
the exact same as last year.
Literally.
Maybe less paint.
Yeah.
To save weight.
Yeah.
More carbon fiber.
Yeah, literally. But anyway, I love it. It's a bit different. Just the blobs are different. That's literally it. People were thinking that it might be, because he said he was going similar, but like people were thinking maybe it would be the same but like a different color. I saw a lot of people being like, I wanted it to be pink. And I was like, that would have slayed.
That would have slayed.
But anyway, it's really not a big deal. I don't know why I'm talking about it so much. But I'm happy.
Shall we get into our predictions
Yes,
then?
let's go.
Right. So, first up, biggest winner of the year. Who did you have as your biggest winner?
Well, my biggest winner is the new world champion. I think we're going to have a new world champion.
Yes.
And we're going to do our 1 to 5 predictions. So I feel like I may not,
Okay. All right.
But like having a new world champion.
Fair.
Because I feel like obviously who it's going to be, who knows? But like whoever that is the biggest winner of the year. That's a pretty basic, boring fucking answer. But that is, like, I was thinking about it and I was like, there's not much bigger of a win than that. And you could say that every year, like...
A first-time world champion.
Yeah. I'm like, well, obviously every year the biggest winner is the world champion.
Yes.
But I feel like it's going to be a new world champion winning their first.
Which is different.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to worry about not spoiling my answer because I went for the exact same argument, except that my answer is Charles Leclerc. Obviously. No one is shocked.
No. And the crowd knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. And the crowd nodded along. Yeah.
Literally.
I don't think that Charles being like world champion this year is a particularly crazy like prediction. I think a lot of people are hopeful, maybe delusional, but we'll see with this whole brand new Ferrari.
Yeah.
So that is my biggest winner.
Who's your biggest loser?
I had a few.
Ooh.
So my first one is Lando Norris. Because I think he's coming in as the favourite this year to win the championship, and I don't think he will.
Yeah, okay.
It's my boy, Charles. Is
Yeah.
gonna win.
So it's not necessarily that you think he's going to do bad. You
No.
just don't think he'll win, and himself and everyone will be expecting him to, so therefore he's not performed.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay,
I think,
interesting.
like, I very much think that he and McLaren are the favourites
Yeah,
to win
yeah.
the World Championship and the constructors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. So,
Yeah.
L.
El Fernando.
What about you? I have a couple more, but
Yes. I had Jack Doohan.
He was also one of mine.
Because we spoke about it last episode, but the writing's already on the wall and he literally has barely even set foot in the car.
Have you seen the number of, like, Franco videos on Alpine social media as well? Like,
It's so rude.
yeah,
It's actually so rude.
I know.
And the fact that I don't know if I said this last time, they tagged him. They tagged Franco on a picture of Jack Doohan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then they, like, corrected it. It was a picture of Jack Doohan and Pierre Gasly,
Yeah.
and they tagged Franco Colapinto. And I was like, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
You can't be fucking doing that.
Yeah.
So I had Jack Doohan as my biggest loser, unfortunately.
Very
because-
fair.
Yeah.
Fair. I also had Nico Hulkenberg
Yeah,
because
that's a good one.
he's stuck in that Sauber, and I just feel like he's probably in his last
Couple
year or
years.
two of F1, and I just think he's just not going to have a good time.
No.
And it'd be so nice to be able to see him on the podium, and it's just not going to happen.
I want a
in
Hulkenberg
that
podium
Sauber.
so bad, but the world would have to turn over
I know.
for that to happen.
I hope we can cut back to this conversation at some point during this year and
Or
be like,
like
jokes.
next year if Audi come in and like
Yeah.
smash it out of the park.
Yeah. But I just feel like he's going to be not thriving
No.
all year.
No. I do
So-
think he's going to do better in the Sauber than the Sauber did this year.
Yeah.
Like, I do think he will be able to push that car
yeah.
pretty well,
Yeah.
but it's not podium levels.
No.
Like, he might score points before the second last race of the year
Yeah.
in that car, but
But, like,
he's
yeah.
not getting on the podium, unfortunately. Did you have any others?
No, that was it. New race winners. Do you think there will be any new race winners?
I do not think that there will be any new race winners.
don't?
No, because I feel like there'll be a lot of different race winners.
Yes.
But because there were so many different race winners last year,
True.
I think all of the people that will be winning races will be the same suspects as last year.
Yeah.
And if there is like a random race winner here and there from another team,
Yeah.
I think if there another team was going to win a race, bar the top four,
Yeah.
like I just don't think Liam Lawson's going to get a win in that Red Bull. I don't think Kimi Antonelli's going to get a win in his debut season.
Yeah.
And I think if anyone else is going to get a win, like when those random midfield teams get a win,
Yeah.
it'll be like an Esteban Ocon, a
Yes.
Pierre Gasly,
Yeah.
Fernando Alonso, like
Yeah.
people that have won races
Previously.
before.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there will be any
Interesting.
new race winners.
Fair. I mean, the only two that I said would come close would be Kimi and Liam.
Yeah.
Kimi, like, by all reports, he's quick.
Yeah.
So I guess as long as he can keep it out of the wall, he's in with a shot.
Yeah.
Particularly, I guess, depending on how the Mercedes goes and if they've all worked it out yet or not.
Yeah.
And then Liam, it just depends on if he
The
can
Red
get
Bull
to grips
as
with the
well.
car.
Yeah. And like I think we'll see Kimi and Liam on podiums.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see them win a race this year.
Yeah, there's just so many people at the top
Winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for anyone else to get a look in
Yeah.
will be crazy.
And yeah, I think like with Lando and Oscar clocking off first wins last year, I think that
True.
yeah.
That's fair. Your silliest surprise of the season.
I think that the silliest, this is kind of a hard one to predict because it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Like how are you going to predict a surprise?
Yeah.
But I think there are going to be so many silly surprises related to like safety cars, crashes, random results because of like
The FIA being crazy.
yeah, I think there's going to be like so many silly surprise results because of like weird safety cars that have like screwed someone over or like a wacko penalty or like that kind of thing. Like I think we might see a few weird results where like a safety car's come at like the complete wrong time for somebody or the complete right time that like somebody random like ends up like the double Alpine podium in Brazil. Like shit like that happening. But because there's so many rookies, there's a more higher chance, I think, of safety cars.
Yeah.
And that, obviously, the timing of that, you never know. So I think we're going to see a lot of silly surprise results.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I had, my silliest surprise was Carlos gets a podium in the Williams.
Ooh, interesting.
So,
Podium.
I know. I did say
Wow.
win and then I quickly backspaced. I was like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah.
So I
Interesting.
backpedaled to podium, but you never know. You could get
never
a weird
know.
race, like you
That's
said.
what I mean. Yeah. Like that's the kind of thing that.
yeah, like hello.
Yeah, literally.
So
Interesting.
yeah, we'll
That's
see.
fun.
We'll see. Obviously we've talked about it a little bit already.
Yes.
But mid-year driver change predictions.
Yes.
I reckon they've filmed Franco Colapinto's F1 driver intro. I reckon he's ready to go.
How many races do you think it is until?
I think he's going to get 7 races.
I was going to say 7 too, but I wish that
Wow.
we had a different answer so then we could see.
I know.
If anyone was right.
Because I think he'll get his 6 that's in his contract. And then, I don't know, just vibes. I'm like, they'll give him 1 more. And then that'll be that.
Yeah. Also, like, I feel like obviously it's going to depend on how he does.
Yes.
But, yeah, I feel like around the 6 to 8
Yes.
mark.
I think as well because the 8th race of the year is Monaco. And if he's not qualifying well,
Yeah.
then
they'll get him out for Monaco. But
Yeah.
would they want to put Franco in fresh in Monaco?
I mean, if Jack Doohan's not performing,
But like putting a driver in that is fairly green still and hasn't driven in a few months.
Did Franco drive in Monaco last year?
In F2.
Oh, true.
I'm just assuming he drove in F2 there.
Yeah, I
He
couldn't
came in
remember.
after the summer break.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, is there anyone else that you think?
I don't think that there will be any other mid-season driver swaps. I
Yeah.
did consider Red Bull, but I don't think that there will be.
Yeah,
in Red
I think
Bull.
everyone else is just too unknown. And I
Yeah.
don't think, like, even with RB and, like, Isaac Hadjar, like...
They don't have anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Isaac Hadjar was the guy that
Yeah.
like if they kept a Ricardo or a Perez,
Yeah.
one or the other, Hadjar would be the guy that would be swapped in.
Yeah.
But now that they've already just put him in, I don't
Yeah.
think that there will be any movement. I don't think that there will be any movement between Red Bull and RB.
Nah.
And I don't think there'll be any RB movement.
Yeah.
Um,
Agree.
yeah.
Best
Yeah.
rookie.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I said Kimmy. Because, again, like...
By all reports, he's rapid.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this though, because Mercedes only put him in for what, 1 FP1 this year or 2,
1.
and he crashed.
Yeah.
I think did they put him in again? I don't remember. But, like,
so.
I think that's really strange that they only put him in that amount. Like, Haas was testing Ollie Behrman every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, I just thought that was a little odd. But I guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
A bit weird. But
I just think that also, like, being in such a quick car, like, I don't know. I've said this before. Like, I just feel like the pressure on him
yeah,
will just be a lot.
I
being in the
agree.
Mercedes.
I think I'm just buying into the, like, Toto
Next
Wolff
Max Verstappen.
propaganda of, yeah, he's the next Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
So that's why I put Kimi. Who did you put?
I put Liam.
He was my second choice.
Yeah. I put Liam because he has the most experience.
Yeah.
And especially driving that car, I just think, like, yeah, more experienced.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's not much more to it, actually. But I just actually, like, I'm getting the feeling he is going to do quite well.
Me too, because I was thinking about this as well. A lot of them have said, like, when Alex Albon, when Liam's talked about, like, the Red Bull, they've all said it's, like, just super dialed in and, like, it's really sensitive.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got to think that being probably, like, a younger driver is going to be, like, your reflexes are just better, like, the younger you are.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of get where, like, maybe a Perez struggled with how sensitive it was.
Yeah,
Whereas,
like when you compare like like Hamilton talking about like his reflex, like in qualifying, and like Fernando Alonso not doing so well in qualifying. You see the flip side of that
yeah,
would be.
I have no, like, science to back that up, but that's just my vibes.
Well, this whole thing is just based off of vibes,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I get you.
yeah.
Well, that's it for just our, like, award
Yeah.
predictions. Shall we run through our constructors?
Let's get into the juice.
1 to 10. So we'll start off at number 10. We'll each say our number 10s and then we'll, like, work
Move
our way
on.
up.
Yeah.
So, in 10th place, I wonder who you had.
I had Sauber.
Shocking!
I just think that Sauber aren't going to, like, they're getting taken over next year, so
Yeah.
they're not. I don't think they're going to move.
No, me either. I also had Sauber. Zero explanation needed.
Yeah. What about, who did you have in 9th?
In 9th, I had RB.
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, this could be a very... I feel like when we get around the midfield, we might have different
I think so.
different opinions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think like the RB is probably not going to be much better than it was last year. And you've got a rookie in the car and I don't know.
And they can't do strategy.
Yeah.
They literally can't.
Well, exactly. Like, I don't know. Red Bull doesn't seem particularly sold out to either of those drivers either. So I don't think they're going to be like pushing...
Giving too much of a fuck about what's going on down at RB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
That was that. In 8th, who did you have?
8th, I had Williams.
Interesting.
So I know that a lot of people are probably expecting them to be a little bit higher, but I just think that the car is like, has so many problems. And the fact that Alex Albon and Franco both couldn't keep that thing out of the wall at all.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not promising. And I know that, like, Carlos, they're already like, oh my God, he's so great. And, like, we're developing it so well, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I just don't think... I think they'll develop. I think they'll take huge steps forwards in terms of their car and their performance. But...
This might not be the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I had Haas. I feel like they've got kind of two wild card drivers a little bit who are both new to the team. So there's going to be a bit of a settling in period. I mean, obviously Ollie Behrman's had a bit of experience with Haas, but like not as a full-time driver. And I mean, Esti Besti can get a little crazy.
Yeah.
And Ollie's a rookie. So I just am like, they'll get some points every now and again, but I had them in 8th.
Yeah, all right. And in 7th?
I have Aston Martin. I feel like Alonso's just going to carry and Lance Stroll is going to be useless, as per.
I also had Aston Martin in 7th.
There you go.
They took a little bit of a tumble down the order because also they started strong last year and they fell off a cliff and they didn't fix it. So I think that they're going to be... And I know that, like, Adrian Newey is there. He is starting this year, but he's not working on the 2025 car.
Yeah.
Like, I Googled it because I was wondering.
Yeah.
He starts at Aston Martin at the start of March. Like, their car is done by then. So,
Yeah.
like, maybe he'll be involved in some upgrades and we might see something. But I think his whole energy is going to be on the 2026 car.
Yeah. And, like, given that next year's new regs anyways, they're probably not going to care too much about putting money into upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
Sixth, who did you have?
Sixth, I had Haas.
Fair.
I think, similar to kind of what you were saying, like, it is a little bit of wildcard drivers, but, like, they were kind of flying.
True.
Towards the end of last year. Like, they built some really, really good momentum and, like, kept it too. Like, it ended up being not once-off performances and just, like, they were clocking in both drivers in the top 10.
Yeah.
And yes, that was Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg. But, I think that they're going to be much more consistent as a car.
Yeah.
It's just going to be down to their drivers.
Yes.
But
That's fair.
I think the car is going to be performing better.
Fair. I had Alpine in number 6.
Yep.
I just feel like, Gasly will carry.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jack's going to do much. And
Franco
will join in at some point.
Yeah.
Who could also score some points, which is why they're, like, a bit further up.
Yeah.
But, I think, like, particularly if that car is quite dialed in as it was last year, like at the end of last year, then I think that Alpine could be up there.
Yeah.
So in 5th, I had Williams.
Yes.
So obviously much higher than what you put them. But I just think they've got 2 great drivers, and if they can be consistently scoring points and keeping it out of the wall, then we'll see.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Like,
Me too.
I would love that.
I feel like I'm maybe just a little bit like
Carlos,
residual
please.
Carlos, like delusion.
The Ferrari fan in you. It's like,
Yeah.
Carlos. Like, you I can't, my heart and soul.
Yeah, I'm
to
like,
put
please
Carlos.
don't be down the back of the grid.
Yeah, no, totally.
So,
Fifth,
Williams.
I had Alpine.
Fair.
Because, similar to what you said, I think, the car was looking good. And as soon as the car looked good last year, Gasly was up there.
Yeah.
And he qualified really well and kind of fell off a little bit in race pace.
Yeah.
But I think if they can keep the same car, and then once Franco gets in the car, he can score points.
Totally.
He can very much score points.
Yeah.
He's got the driving abilities, and I think that we obviously are going to see him in the car sooner rather than later. As I think that they will be a good combo, actually.
Yeah.
Gasly and Colapinto. I do think that they'll be a good combo.
True. Fair. In 4th, who did you have?
In 4th, I was tossing this one up, the 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, fair.
Between Red Bull and Mercedes.
Yeah.
And I went with Mercedes for
Okay.
4th. But I was considering putting them 3rd. So. But I think Mercedes will finish 4th because just Kimi being fresh and inconsistent, maybe. But, and as I said, like, the pressure, I worry for him so much with that pressure. I've said it so many times, but, like, I just think he's going to be rapid when he's on.
Totally.
But I just think he doesn't have that experience yet.
Yeah.
And it will come, and maybe then Mercedes will take a step next year, and also the inconsistency in the car.
Yeah.
I think George will be great.
Yeah.
But I think Kimi will be inconsistent, and I think the car will be inconsistent.
Fair.
Yes.
I was also tossing up between those two, but I went for Red Bull. I feel like the car at the end of last year was just a problem. Yeah. And, like, Max was not, like, scoring the way he used to.
Yeah.
And unless Liam can be up there with Max, I think that the other 3 teams are going to outperform.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Which means obviously in 3rd place I had Mercedes.
Yeah.
And I just have good vibes about Mercedes this year.
Yeah.
I feel like George was super consistent last year. And if Kimi can, like you said, Kimi's, all these newbie drivers are just such big
unknown quantities.
question marks. So we'll see. But I don't know. I have good vibes.
Interesting. So obviously then 3rd I have Red Bull.
Yes.
I was, considering putting them fourth because of the car. Like, I'm just picturing that onboard footage from Max, like, halfway through the year, and he's, like, turning, and the car is just, like, sliding off in the other direction. But I think, obviously, we know Max can outscore a car.
Yeah.
And as I said, I just feel like Liam Lawson is going to do well in that car. Yep. I just do think he's going to do quite well.
Nice.
In second, I don't think anyone's going to be shocked. I have Ferrari. I think Charles will be well and truly in the title fight. He will be one of the ones to watch every single weekend. He's going to win a stack of races.
Yeah.
I worry for Lewis in the Ferrari.
Yes.
I think he'll still score like a bunch of points and he'll still be on podiums and he'll still be in the conversation. But I don't think, like, obviously we know who this leaves, but like, I don't think the pairing, I just don't think is stronger.
Yeah.
I don't think the Ferrari pairing is stronger than the McLaren pairing, and for that reason, I put Ferrari in second.
Fair.
And who did you put in second?
I also went for Ferrari. I know.
Okay.
But I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I was actually thinking that. I was like, how are you going to argue with the points I just made?
Like, I don't think there is any argument. Like,
No.
I think I'm hoping Charles will do really well.
Yeah.
I think Lewis will be up and down. Mm-hmm. And I also think Ferrari is Ferrari and will inevitably at some point make me cry. By
for better or for
Charles
worse.
on fucking wets in the dry or dries in the wets or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had them in second.
Yeah,
which means
okay.
obviously we both had McLaren up top.
Constructors champions.
Yeah.
I have something to talk about with McLaren. I saw this
Do
on
tell.
TikTok, so
Grain of
disclaimer.
salt.
Yeah. But there's this girl talking on TikTok, cannot remember her name, and then I saw her like defending herself because people were telling her she was literally making it up. So I don't quite know. But she apparently has a friend that works at McLaren. Mm-hmm. And she said that McLaren have this crazy upgrade on one part of the car. And she said, I know which part of the car it is. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to get fucking sued. So apparently, this is all alleged from someone on TikTok. So, like, take it with a grain of salt. But basically, there's a lot of people talking, like, Ferrari's, like, changed 90% of their car. Like, Williams are, like, developing a lot with Carlos. Like, a lot of shit's going on. McLaren's been very quiet.
Yes.
Apparently, there's, like, one, like, instrumental part of the car that they have upgraded to the ends of the earth. Mm-hmm. And they're testing it. And if it works, they're going to be, like, unbeatable.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, they're basically going back to the 2024 car.
Yeah, right.
Which still is great. So
Totally, yeah.
But I was like, that's super interesting. So I don't know, A, how true that is. B, what it really means. But I just thought it was a fun point to bring up because...
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think, like, I mean, even that aside, like, Lando and Oscar are just such a strong and, like, consistent pairing.
And Oscar will be better too.
Exactly.
Like, he's developing.
And so will Lando.
Yeah.
He'll make less mistakes this year. Like,
I think he'll drive differently being the favourite. Like, I think last year, however heartbreaking that was for him, was such great learning.
yeah. Having the pressure of, like, oh, I'm a championship contender.
Yeah.
And, like, driving under those conditions.
Exactly. And,
So-
like, yeah, I just think that he now knows.
Yeah.
And, like, you said as kind of, like, he would be expected to be the winner and then wouldn't. So, like, there's that as well. But I think
For sure.
mentally for him, he has now all of this time to prepare for fighting it at the front, fighting for a win, fighting for the championship week in, week out.
Yeah.
And he can kind of, like, mentally prepare for that, because I feel like last year it was just like, you're in.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree.
I think he will be more prepared. I think Oscar is developing every year.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can be a little bit more consistent
Yeah.
and improve his qualifying a little bit too. And yeah, McLaren will be back-to-back World Constructors champions.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll see.
All right. Yeah.
But we agreed at the top and we agreed at the bottom.
Yeah,
So it was just
the
really in the
middle.
midfield. We'll
Yeah.
see how
that Williams one is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I would love, honestly, if
Absolutely, it'd be so
was
cool.
correct.
I'd
love that.
We should have like rated our confidence on each of these.
Oh,
things.
yeah. Out of 10.
All right.
Sauber coming last. 10 out of 10 confidence. Lock it in.
Honestly. All right. Let's do our top 5 World Drivers' Championship.
Yes. Should we do it in the similar?
Yeah, let's
in
do
a
it.
similar way.
All right.
In fifth.
Who did you have?
In 5th, I have George.
He was my toss-up between who I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So in 5th, I have George. I
Yep.
think he's going to be up there, and I
Yep.
think he's going to be really, really great. I just don't think the Mercedes will fight with some of the other cars
Fair.
up there consistently enough.
Fair.
So 5th, I had George.
I had Osk
In 5th.
in 5th.
Interesting.
I think he's going to do well, but I don't think he's going to do that well.
Yeah, okay.
So 5th.
Mm-hmm.
In 4th,
Mm-hmm.
I had Lewis. Who'd you have?
In 4th, I had Oscar.
Fair.
So kind of similar, but just up one. I think he'll do great. I think the McLaren will be obviously flying. He'll win a couple races.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll be in that top fight.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. In 3rd, who did you have?
In 3rd, I had Max. Because I think it's like putting Max at 3rd is just always scary.
Yeah, that is kind of
Because
crazy.
It's like he's just inevitable.
Yeah.
So, but I just think that the Ferrari and the McLaren are faster
yeah.
than the Red Bull. And
Yeah.
I think that part of the reason he was able to win the championship this year is because of how dominant Red Bull were early.
Yeah.
Like, he put so many points on the board in the first couple of months of the year.
Yeah.
And I think that without that advantage this year, I think, yeah, like as I said, he'll outperform the car 100%.
Yeah.
But I don't think that will be enough to beat a consistently performing McLaren and Ferrari.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. In 3rd place, I had Lando. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like I'm spreading my eggs a little bit, like in different baskets, because I'm
Yeah.
like McLaren constructors, but then I'm also like Lando and Oscar 3rd
Yeah,
and 5th.
so it's like, how does that?
So I'm just trying
You got
to
some
like,
close margins going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, for real.
You're like 3rd by 1 point.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I'm like I have to be right somewhere. So
Yeah.
in 2nd place, I then obviously had Max. Because I just felt like he's got to either be 1st or 2nd, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Putting him at
So-
3rd was a little horrifying. I was like, ooh.
Well, yeah. So Max was 2nd for me.
Yes.
How about you?
2nd, I had Charles. Because I think, as I said, he's going to win a stack of races and he's going to be, you know, in the conversation week in, week out. I just worry about Ferrari and their car and their consistency and their strategy.
Yeah. As we all do.
Yeah. As, you know, yeah, week in, week out.
Yeah.
You never know.
Week in, week out. It's just,
Yeah.
I just worry about Ferrari.
Even in the off-season, are you worrying
Yeah.
about Ferrari?
Constantly. 24/7.
That's funny. Yes, and then...
In first, who did you have?
I have Lando. I have to back my boy.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I have to back him. And I just think that, like, with the example of McLaren versus Ferrari, I just think both McLaren drivers were so much more consistent last year. Like, Ferrari had those really bad off weekends and lost a stack of points.
Yeah.
And I just think that when you're in a title fight, having those just won't help you.
No,
And
completely. I think this year will be so tight. I think it'll come down to the final few races.
I agree, and I'm fucking stressed already. I'm so stressed. But, like, I think, like, an interesting point is, like, I have the title fight this year between Lando and Charles and not Max.
Yeah.
And, like, I stand by that. I do think that's going to happen. Like,
Fair.
I think Max will be there, but I think the main title fight is going to be a Lando-Charles scrap,
Fair.
which I think works in Lando's favour because Charles isn't going to try and kill him like Max did.
Yes.
So I think Lando will fight better
Yeah.
knowing that Charles won't pull
Push
out
him
the
off the
same
road
tactics
and-
that
yeah.
Max did.
Yeah. That's
So,
fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Mm,
You want to talk about your world champion?
Yeah, obviously. My biggest winner. I do hope, pray, have solution.
Please.
Yeah. that Charles will win the World Championship this year.
Yes. And, like, I would love to see Charles win a World Championship.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's just because, like, if McLaren were not my team, I'd be like, I would love Charles to win. But if they're fighting McLaren, I'm like, I'm sorry, Charles, you have to sit down. You have to wait.
I know. So, yeah, I feel like there are just a lot of good vibes for Charles Leclerc coming into this season. And hopefully this new Ferrari does him favours and does not work against him.
Yeah.
And I think, like, driving against Lewis will push him as well. So I think that'll be really good.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, interesting.
Last off, we had some random predictions that I dropped on Evie 30 seconds before we started filming.
Yeah, so I'm not saying these with my chest because they were just, like, off the top of my head.
Yeah. So we'll go back and forth.
Yes.
My first random prediction was that Abby Pulling would get to go out for, like, an FP1 run.
I would love that.
Me too.
Yes,
like,
girl.
Girlie has earned it. She absolutely dominated F1 Academy, so it would be very cool to see her pull out in that Alpine for an FP1.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
What about you?
A random prediction, I just thought, I think we will see a non-top team race winner.
Interesting.
So I think, like, as I said, there's going to be so much chaos, people crashing, safety cars,
Never
weird FIA decisions. I feel like at some point in the season, the stars will align and someone, like, I don't know, like a Gasly or an Ocon or, like, even, dare I say, a Carlos or, like, something like, I mean, I don't really think, but I think we will see a non-top team winner. And by that, I mean not the 4 top teams.
Yes. Yeah. A Fernando win.
Yeah, Fernando. Cool. Like, if Adrian Newey pops major puss on some upgrades for them.
So fair.
Yeah.
A Nico win.
Oh my God, bro.
That's never going to happen, but whatever.
Jack Doohan win.
In Melbourne. That's right.
Oh my God, I would die.
I like it. I like it. My next one was that the George and Max beef starts up again.
Oh my God, yes!
Just because I love that. I found it so entertaining.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. I mean, I love that all the drivers are, like, kind of friends, but I also love when they scrap. So
yes.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
What about you? Did you have any others?
I have Lewis will win a big race for Ferrari. So, like, it's a Lewis thing to do. Like,
he pulls out a Monza win or something.
Like, I think he'll win, like, a Monza, even an Imola, Silverstone, or, like, a Monaco even. Yeah. Like, I think he will just win.
Hey, leave Monaco for Charles.
I know, but, like, I'm just saying, for example, I think he will win, like, a big race for Ferrari.
Yeah. But, that would be very on brand for Lewis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just have a feeling. I don't think he will win that many races. Obviously, he wasn't even in my top 5.
No.
He was 6th.
Yeah. George was 6th. So that was our, like, swap replacement. Yeah.
But I think he'll just, like, have another one of those, like, Lewis moments and win, like, a big race for Ferrari. Like, I was going to say, like, win a Monza.
God, if he won a Monza, I feel like Ferrari fans in Italy would be like, he is the messiah.
Yeah. Like
for real.
Actually, they'd start replacing their churches.
Yeah, for real. Well, I'm a big fan of that prediction, personally. My last random prediction was that 3 different drivers cop one of their new FIA swearing fines.
Oh my God. We should actually probably talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, because it was crazy.
It's criminal.
I know.
It's horrible. What the fuck are you doing?
I know.
Like, you're docking them championship points? Keep it to fines.
That'll never happen. I don't think anyone's getting a race ban. I don't think anyone's getting points docked because people will
be in uproar.
Yeah.
You want to make changes in the outcome of a world championship because someone casually dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah.
By accident.
Like, sorry, Max is going to get to do, like, 3 races and then he's going to be banned.
I did love the memes that were like, Oscar Piastri World Championship incoming just because he never speaks.
Yeah.
It's like Oscar Piastri World Champion because everyone else has had race bans and points deducted.
I know. I saw one that was like Max dropping like a bunch of F-bombs right before like Kelly goes into labour so he can have paternity leave.
I love that. That's so funny. Oh yeah, he's going to be a dad. I'm excited to see the Verstappen baby. Is that a weird thing? I feel like that's like a weird thing to say.
No, but I feel like obviously there's going to be plenty of stuff on social about it. And
Yeah,
it'll be cute.
it'll be cute. But I just feel like it's a weird thing to be like, I can't wait to see this person.
I want to see your child.
I would like to see the baby. But yeah, imagine like just Max rocking up with a baby in the paddock.
I know.
Like
so
what?
Cute.
Like
all
off
the stuff-
brand, wild.
No, I love it.
It is
Even
cute.
like Penelope is
So
cute.
But like with a fresh, crazy.
That is funny.
I love it.
Yeah. Did you have any other
I
random
did,
predictions?
but like I just think we disagree on this. I just think that like Kimi Antonelli won't be as exciting as people think he is
Fair.
because of the pressure, and I just think he has so much hype.
Yeah.
It's like how can you possibly?
I think
mean,
he'll
he
be
can live up to
exciting because he's like an 18-year-old
And
who's
he's
now going to be
rapid.
driving 300,000, lol, 300 kilometers an hour.
Damn, bro's fast.
Yeah, bro, damn. He's going to be driving 300 kilometers an hour
Yeah.
as an 18-year-old, and I think that's going to be exciting
Oh,
to
I'm so-
watch
it's
because
gonna
I'm
be
sure he's going to put in the
fun.
wall a bunch of times.
I know, and that's what I'm stressed about.
Yeah.
Like don't.
But
do
like
that.
good is the
Yeah, like
question.
results wise and
Yeah.
like performing wise.
Yeah.
That's where I'm worried.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fun.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he'll be as good
Yeah.
as people think
Fair.
he'll be. And yeah,
We'll
did you have any
see.
others?
That was it. I'm done.
Amazing. But yeah, obviously those random predictions I don't really say with my chest. I literally wrote them like
Yeah.
10 seconds before we started filming. Shana was like, oh yeah, random predictions. I was like,
Huh?
I didn't do that. Anyways, that brings us to the end of our episode, I think,
Yeah.
unless you have anything else to say.
No, that's it.
This was really fun.
This was fun.
I'm like stressed now about the season.
I'm
'Cause now
excited to look back on this at the end of the season.
I know. And like I'm just really hoping that I'm not like, oh, you were so full of hope.
Yeah. Me being like, Charles Leclerc world champion.
Yeah, you heard it here first, and the Ferrari just like falls to pieces.
Yeah. No, don't put that energy out into the universe. Touch wood.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm preying on their downfall. So, well, not really. That would ruin a lot of my predictions if Ferrari just
True.
failed to compete.
fell off a cliff.
But yeah, we'll be back. We're going to review testing. I think that will be really interesting. I can't wait to see cars back on track.
Yep.
Obviously, next week after, the liveries reveal.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a YouTube video reacting to the liveries.
Yep.
I mean, we're going to see them beforehand, but we'll
We will.
unpack. I mean,
Yes.
it might be a very boring video. Be like, yes, the same.
Yeah.
Same.
Carbon fiber, carbon fiber.
Red Bull are navy blue again. McLaren is orange and Ferrari is red.
I am not shocked.
Anyway,
No, but
we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching / listening. If you are listening, do give us a 5-star review if you enjoyed, because it really does help us out. And if you're watching on YouTube, like the video, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think.
yeah, drop your predictions in the comments.
Yes, please, because I would love, and we can potentially even react to other people's predictions at
Yeah.
some stage.
For sure. So
Like,
send them through.
because I love doing like the hot takes episode that we did.
Yes, that was
love
fun.
that. So like, I'd love to see some other people's predictions. And subscribe, because I looked at our analytics and 90% of people that watch our channel aren't subscribed. So you're not getting away with that. We see you. It's so easy and it's for free and it helps us out. So
Yeah.
please subscribe. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.